Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, let's go! We finally have the Sagan skin here on our Sagan command cruiser. Now, captains, you know, yesterday, or our last video, we did a video already on the Sagan, but there was a, let's say, feature that it had the Parliament skin on it, which, captains, we had to take advantage of it, so we made a torp boat out of it. And even for one night, even for just one night, we had a command Parliament. But today it has been fixed, and yes, after the patch it fixed, but I still had a feature. And shout out to Ambassador Kale for suggesting this, because I had tweeted out that when I come back into game here, what happened was the skin changed back to the Sagan, but the material was not this one that you see here. And when I went to the tailor, it was still showing the Parliament. So the suggestion was to dry dock the ship and then reactivate it, and that actually did fix it. So huge shout out to Ambassador Kale, and also another captain who suggested the same thing. Thank you so much. But yes, here we are on the Sagan command cruiser, and captains, you know how excited we've been to get the ship, and finally, here it is. And yes, I love it. I love it. Yes. Ooh, sorry, captains. So what I wanted to do first, before we get into the video slash the build, I wanted to kind of go over this visually, because captains, this is just a gorgeous ship. And I'd mentioned before that it just speaks to me. I love the four nacelle designs, mostly for the most part. This one, right on the money, 100%. And there were so many details here that we wanted to show, which also will influence some of the build that we're going to be doing today. And it is different from the last one that we did. So here we go. Now, the one thing I did notice, this thing has 8 torpedo launchers, captains. If you look there at the base of the pylons coming off of the main saucer, the secondary hull there's torpedo launchers there. 4 at the bottom, 4 at the top. Yeah, this is a command torp heavy ship indeed. Now, the one other thing I noticed is there are no aft torpedoes. So we sort of took that into consideration, and this time we did not put aft torpedoes because there are none. Sure, whether that's something they forgot, but we're gonna go roll with that. And again, you'll see it later, captains, what we did to the build, because yeah, there's no torpedoes there. But continue with the detail here, there's a bridge there. Again, you can see sort of some seats there. You can see 5 seats there. I wish they would give us the bridge for this ship, because it was a gorgeous ship. Mind you, it was a mini community hull, but it is what it is. But it is there, and also you can see sort of the warp core here is kind of what they're saying. You see the warp core, or this is the warp core they said from the stream that they revealed it. Not a fan of them sort of exposing it, but it is there. But mind you, we're already exposed here with the window there at the front. Thanks, JJ. But the details on this ship, captains, is just gorgeous. Like, look at that. There's like a runway into the shuttle bay over there. Just the details. There's USS Stargazer. And yes, we named it the USS Stargazer because why not? We were allowed to, so we ran with it. But everything, the ship, it's just gorgeous. From the nacelles there. I wish they were a little wider, but not a big deal. Also, you can see here that the top nacelles are a little bit more closer to the inside, and the bottom nacelles are pushed out. But overall, just a great looking ship here, and I love the Star Trek Online influences on this, because of course Thomas did work on the show there, and I'm pretty sure that this part here was influenced by one of the skins from the older Stargazer skin, the Constellation skin. But overall, just an awesome, and that deflector, it just is just gorgeous. It just ties and melds all together really well, and the attention to detail is just top notch on this ship. And yes, captains, we are happy to have it. So with that said, now we're going to go over the build, and as we normally do, we're going to go over the weapons, space sets, consoles, trade station, DOFs, and then take it into an elite Argala. Now, we did read this yesterday in the previous video there. We are going to change the build, and we're going to base it a little bit more off of Memory Alpha's statement here, which we'll read again. The Sagan class ship was designed and built by Starfleet in the later years of the 24th century. By 2401, the first ship in the class, the USS Stargazer, had already received an NCC commission and was the first of a new class of ship to utilize components derived from research on the Borg cube artifact that was found in the Beta quadrants. So from that, we're going to take some inspiration and put that into the build for fun. This is what this game's all about, fun, personally for myself. So here we go. Captains, will show you what we did. So again, the USS Stargazer, the Sagan Command Cruiser, T6X. So here we go. Start with the 4 weapons here. Start off with the Enhanced Biomolecular Photon Torpedo Launcher from your Undine rep. This is a greenish torpedo, so the Borg are known for its green torps, and this was actually used in Voyager. So, and it's one of the hardest hitting torpedoes in the game, so why not? So there you go. Next one, we have the Adaptive Transphasic Torpedo, which we've re-engineered to crit DM damage for. This you can get from the episode Fluid Dynamics, so it's a free torpedo. Transphasics are not the best torpedoes, but again, it has the Borg in mind. One of the mods there is Borg, so then why not? Let's have fun with that. Gravimetric Photon Torpedo, captains, one of my favorites. Of course, I was used on Voyager as well. I may have to be careful so I don't blow myself up, but this from your Dyson rep, we're going to use that because starships that are Federation starships are known to have photon torpedoes. Having said that, they're also known to have quantum torpedoes. So we're going to use the wide angle quantum torpedo because, captains, you know, we fly around like headless chicken. At least you can broadside with this torpedo, and this comes from any version of your Sovereign, or a Sovereign in the C store, I should say. So space set, we have the deflector, elite fleet intervention from your colony fleet, your prevailing innovative impulse engines from your competition rep, and then of course the mycelial harmonic matter antimatter core, and Tillings review pending modified shield from your discovery rep. And the 2-piece of this actually helps us out, gives us 120% hull regen. Because why not? For aft weapons here, since there are no torpedoes, we took that in our torpedo launchers visually that we can see in the aft. Even though I love torpedoes coming out of my aft, we're gonna run with this. We're gonna have the Elite Fleet Janur Tricobalt Mine from your Fleet Colony, the Thoron infused Quantum Mine from your Delta Rep Dilithium store, and the Modulating Competition Mine Launcher from your Competition Rep. So we have our mines there, because this is a torpedo platform ship. And then to kind of complement the phaser arrays that we see on the ship, we have the Trilithium Enhanced Omnidirectional Phaser Beam from the episode Nexus. It's free. We just re-engineered. Oh, we re-engineered it, I believe. No, you can't re-engineer this one. But regardless, it's free. We have to get out. Here it is. That's what we're going to put in the aft because phaser pew-pews. And of course, Federation starships have phasers. Now, we didn't see this fire anything, but that's okay. We're going to use our head cannon to help with this build. Devices, we have our Kobayashi Maru transponder for its buff goodness, temporal negotiator to help our recharge speeds, our Torp Candy, the battery kinetic amplifier for plus 30% bonus projectile damage for 20 seconds, reactive armor catalyst, because why not? We had an extra slot, and we took advantage of that and put the Delta Alliance reinforcements as well. Now here we go. We're infusing more of that Borg influence into the build. We actually use the assimilated module here for its 1.2% critical chance, 12.1% critical severity, and this is of course from your mega rep. Now we are going to use the harmonic shield bearer that came with this ship, and that's what we saw it do on screen. Now again, I said it before, it would have been nice that when you activated this console, a fleet of ships would have warped in, and those ships would have been from Picard, then formed the shield. I thought that would have been so great, but it doesn't do that. That's okay. Now we did use this in the previous video, and yes, you cannot shoot when you're behind this, but you're also protected from the NPCs shooting at you. Now I personally am just going to use this for solo purposes. Group content may not be optimal, but it would be fun. I personally won't troll, but just look out for that, captains. If this happens to me in a TFO, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to fly around it. So just keep that in mind, captains. So we're going to use the dynamic power distributing module from the prototype Dreadnought, the Atlas, which you can get from the event campaign if you so choose so, for 11.3 all damage resistance rating, 19% directed energy damage. So it's going to help our lonely Omni Beam. Of course, when you click on it, it's a sell for 20 seconds, plus 40% bonus damage, plus 100% bonus damage resistance rating, plus 500% hull regen. So a good oh crap button. We're going to pair that with the point defense bombardment warhead from any version of the NX, or its plus 25% projectile damage, 1% critical chance. It's cute. But also, when you pair these together, it'll give us plus 33% phaser damage for directed energy weapons. So it's going to, again, boost up our Omni Beam. Next up, we have the ferrofluid hydraulic assembly. It's from your Terran rep. We're using it for its 13% maximum hit points, but also minus 0.5 second shared torpedo recharge time. We're also going to use the ordnance accelerator from the Gamma rep for its 20% mine recharge speed, 26.3 projectile weapon damage, and 26.3 phaser directed energy damage. Not bad, not bad. We're going to use the quantum warhead module, plus 11.7 torpedo weapon damage. This comes from your T6 Valiant, T6 Defiance. From the Legendary, you can also get that. Also have the opening salvo, one of my favorite consoles in game, captains, from the Tier 6 Titan. We're going to use the M-Lighting Phaser Lance, and this is going to be our beam overload for this build, because we do like beam overload, and beam overload is great. Yes, beam overload is great. And we're also going to get plus 15.8% phaser damage. This comes from your Deimos Pilot Destroyer, which again you can get from your event campaign. We're going to continue on with what we use again from the previous build, the multi-directional artillery barrage for its plus 20% all damage with projectile weapons, plus 7.5 maximum hull capacity. This comes from your Smexy Lexi, the Lexington, which was from the 12th anniversary bundle, which you can get from the C-Store. Tricobalt Terror Launcher from your Appalachian Blockade, the aka Tier 6 Steam Runner. 19% mine and torpedo damage. And of course it gives us 47.5 Starship Shield Pen, because why not? And it looks visually pleasing. And we're going to keep again with the Borg theme and keep the retrofitted assimilator that we used to try to make friends in space. So there you go. That is what we did. Again, as you can see, we have influences from the Borg on this build, from the torpedoes, consoles, just because we're going to go with the theme. Now, Stat-wise, this gives us 37.4%, crit severity 167.1%. Now, keep in mind, captains, we have our Pendevers helping us because we are ranked all the way to 600. So again, specialization, nothing too different. Intelligence officer and temporal operative. For our traits, even here, we have made some changes, but also some Borg influences. Here we go. We have the A Good Day to Die, Superior Projectile Training, of course, Kinetic Precision, Hot Pursuit for our minds, but here we go. Adaptive Offense. So crit chance that becomes crit severity during repeated crit hits. Now, if you look at when you read this, Borg technology is full of clever mechanisms of adaptation. Even ancillary features have flex built in. It is in some ways the raw stuff of natural selection, distilled out from countless species by the sifting action of assimilation. So why not? Even in our traits, we will have that Borg influence. So we're keeping with the theme here, captains. We have Inspirational Leader, Unconventional Systems, Terran Targeting Systems, Intelligent Agent Attaché, and the Boimler Effect. Now for our Starship traits, we change it up a little bit here, because why not? Entwined Tactical Matrices. For our Torp Spread, we are also going to use Reverberant Shielding. This is the trait that comes with the ship, which gives us, of course, when we use Feedback Pulse, gives us Reverse Shield Polarity. Vice versa, if we use Reverse Shield Polarity, we'll get Feedback Pulse. So why not? Now we have Subspatial Warheads, Universal Designs, Carrier Wave Shield Hacking, and of course we are bringing back Improved Feedback Pulse. Why? Because why not? We're going to make it great again. Well, I'm just going to use it for fun. So that's what we have. Space Reputation. We have Torpedo Pre-Fire Sequence, Advanced Targeting Systems, Omega Kinetic Shearing, Precision, and of course Tyler's Duality. Nothing different with our active space reputation. We have the Anti-Time Entanglement Singularity, the Biomolecular Shield Generator, Deploy Sensor Interface Platform, Quantum Singularity Manipulation, and Refactoring Tetron Cascade. So there's that. We are going to go to our stations. So here we have the Heisenberg Amplifier, Chronometric Inversion. These two are going to help our uncon procs. Of course, Recursive Shearing, Stop Hitting Yourself power. Woohoo! Hemocyte Lace Weaponry. We're going to use Beam Fire at Will, but this will also give us a Torp Spread. And of course, boost up our Omni. We're going to have Dispersal Pattern Beta 1 for our mines. And we're going to keep with High Yield 3. So I did change it a little bit from the build we did previously on the Parlia Sagan. Here we have Emergency Powered Engines. Reverse Shield Polarity. So again, the Reverberant trait is going to help us with this. And we're going to actually show that up before we go into the Elite Argala. Concentrate Firepower. And of course, Call Emergency Artillery 3. Tractor Beam, another uncon. And Feedback Pulse. So there's our stations. Let's go to our DOPs. So for the ground, we have the two helping us in space. Of course, Neil Falconer. Increased damage versus the Berg. Makes sense. Even in our DOPs, we have Borg influence. Elder Malikatan. Increased damage versus all. So for our actual space DOPs, we have 3 projectile weapons officer. 2 of them give us a chance to stack crit severity, and 1 a chance to reduce the time for our mines. Emergency Con Officer to help us recharge evasive maneuvers when emergency powered engines is activated. Delirene, increased damage versus the Borg. And Brad Boimler, because why not? Because it's going to give us toxic clouds from the torpedoes. Now, to show off this trait, this is kind of what it does here. So when I hit feedback pulse, we're going to have, of course, reverse shield polarity go up. And when that is over, so we're going to wait till that goes off, we're going to hit reverse shield polarity. And then that is going to give us, again, feedback pulse. That's why we're going to use improved feedback pulse. And why not? It's just for fun to use there. And there you go. So captains, what we're going to do is take this into Elite Argala and see how it does. I'm quite interested. Pretty sure we'll do okay. Now, when we go to, we'll make sure we do Elites. Here, we're going to go to our patrols. And remember, captains, who is with us? Picard and Riker. So here we go.
Ensign, take us out of here. Maximum warp.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
Yes. Whew. I do love the ship. Did I say, captains, I love the ship? Because I love the ship. Here we go.
Tactical alert. Vessel approaching, bearing 184, Mark 7.
All hands. Battle stations.
Ooh, here we go.
Weapons hot, deflectors to full.
Hit that there. And there that went. Hit this next target here. Maybe we'll make a friend. There's that Borg torpedo. Yes! And we get a friend. It's an assimilated ship. Borg technology indeed is present. Let's go. So we're gonna save our buffs for this group. Actually, this is what we're doing. We're gonna show off the shield here. Ooh, that does look cool. I do like that sort of that back up there, and look at that, it just grew. That's awesome. So let's get ready here. Buff up. That took care of that group. Yes! Use these torps, because why not? We have 8 torpedo launchers in the 4 captains. That's just insane. Go and concentrate on this. Take the shield off there too as well. Let's make a friend. Ooh. Bye. Oh. Oh, captains, I love the ship. Have some mines there. But at least we're still having a Starfleet-esque look on the ship with phasers, photons. Ooh. Have some tri-cobalt tear launcher mines. And there you go, our Borg torps. Kabam! Oh, let's be careful with the gravimetric torpedo. Let's not pewz ourselves. Woo! That's just a lot of pewzins, captains. That definitely is a lot of pewzins. Nice little green explosion. Have some mines as well. Ooh. We got a Pendever point. I'll take it. Move around here. Oh, it's also very maneuverable. I do like how this is. Make a friend. Have enough to make a friend? Oh! Okay, that torpedo moved on its own. So... Is that my fault? Ah, good thing we can respawn. It is. I was so careful. There we go. Round 2. All right. Go take them off. Whew. We're gonna save our major consoles for the last group. I did say that it might blow up. All right, let's take this out. Let's do this. Use the harmonized shield again, just for sake of visual. Look at that. We'll wait till it goes down. We'll buff up. Do it. Let's unload all of our torpedoes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Can we make a friend? Make a friend. Make a friend. Yes! And there we go, captains. All right, let's get these marks here. Let's go over here for our shelfies. Excuse me, sir. Captains, if you don't know what that is, there are ship selfies. And then we'll give our final conclusions. We'll stop launching our mines here. Find a good angle. And there we go. And we're getting some buff goodness there from the Kobayashi Maru. So captains, there you go. There's the build that we came up with for the Sagan command cruiser. Again, with a little bit of Borg influence. We thought it was a fun exercise to do. And again, it's just for fun. Captains, this will do just nicely for our nightly pew-pew shenanigans. And I'm really super happy that we have the ship now in our possession, in our fleet. And I can't be any more thrilled to be able to fly her. And she will be a ship that I will be flying and having fun for a while. And that's why we already T6X upgraded her. Because those are the upgrades that we save for, the ships that we are going to be on for a long time. And again, what can I say other than the ship was fun? And always when we do these type of builds, they are just for our nightly shenanigan pew-pews. So that's why we invite you, captains, to the Twitch bridge whenever we're there. Join us for just some good old pew-pews. So like the video, comment below, subscribe to the YouTube bridge, and captains, as always, we're going to leave it on this note.
Don't let them promote you. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference.